So the regular season of the English Football League, the Championship, the League One, and also League Two as well have all been concluded, but we still got the postseason, as it were. We've still got the playoffs to decide who gets promoted in those final spots to the Premier League, Championship, and League One. I'm going to go through all of the games, go through all of the teams, and give my predictions for who I think is going to be promoted in just a few weeks' time at Wembley Stadium. So, for those that don't know, all the playoffs are essentially the same for the League One, 2, and the Championship. The exact same format. They are 4 teams contesting it out in 2 semi-finals, both a home and away leg for each side, and then the winners of those semi-finals go through to the final at Wembley Stadium in London in about a week or so time after the semi-finals have been concluded. So we'll start with the Championship. People say that the biggest game, the most expensive and lucrative match in world sport, not just football, in world sport, is the playoff final for the EFL in the Championship. And I think that's actually true, given how much money is in the Premier League these days, even if you get relegated and come straight back down, which, let's be honest, it's probably going to happen, given how tough it is to survive in the Premier League these days as a newly promoted side. You're getting hundreds upon hundreds of millions of pounds, so that's a fair old purse that you are winning there. But which sides are in the EFL Championship playoffs to try and get back to the Premier League this season? Well, we've got Sheffield United, who finished in 3rd. We've got Sunderland, who were 4th, Coventry in 5th, and Bristol City in 6th. And the way that the format works is 3rd plays against 6th, so that is Sheffield against Bristol, and also 4th against 5th, Coventry against Sunderland. The team that finished higher out of those two plays their home leg second and the away leg first. So the first of these matches, the first of any EFL playoff match, I believe, in the Championship or in the EFL this season as a whole, I should say, is between Bristol City and Sheffield United. That's been playing on Thursday, the 8th of May. So how do I think they're going to get on? Well, I've got skin in the game on this one. You guys already know probably that I'm a Sheffield United fan, and you'll also know our playoff record is absolutely abysmal. We have the worst playoff record out of any side in England, out of any of them. Simple as that. We have lost 9 different playoff campaigns under 9 different managers, haven't won a single one. Can it be the 10th time lucky? Well, I think we've got a chance, to be honest. We've not been in the best of form recently, but our season as a whole, it's been better points-wise than even when we got promoted into the Premier League. I think we got more points this time around than when we did under Warnock, under Wilder, under Heckingbottom, when we got promoted to the Premier League. That's how good we've been, but it's just that Leeds and Burnley have just been better. 100 points from the pair of them. Fair play. They've been absolutely magnificent this season, and they both deserve to go up. I'll be magnanimous and gracious in defeat with that. They beat us home and away. They deserve to go up. Simple as that. But we've still got a chance to go up through the playoffs. Now, Bristol City have been a tricky side for us. We played them first away at Ashton Gate earlier this season, and we actually managed to beat them 2-1. It was a very tight game, though, and they went down to 10 men very late on, and we got a very, very late winner. At Bramall Lane, in the opposite fixture, we managed to draw 1-1, and honestly, Bristol City probably deserved to win that. If anyone was going to win that game, it was going to be them. So this is going to be tight. This is going to be tricky, but I have to back the Blades. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tough. I'm going to go for us to get through to the final against Bristol City. There's only going to be a goal in it. Maybe it'll come down to penalties. It goes into extra time and then penalties, I believe, as well, if it's level at the end of the second leg after regulation time. But let's talk about Coventry and Sunderland. I mean, for me, honestly, with the greatest respect to Sunderland, this is a very slam dunk win for Coventry over 2 legs for me. I cannot see Sunderland beating them. I really can't. Sunderland have been in terrible form. They've been absolutely in abysmal form recently. Yes, they are up in 4th. They deserve to be there because they were pretty much early in the season. They were pretty much neck and neck with Sheffield and Burnley and Leeds. There weren't much between us. It was us 4 that were going for the automatics, but then Sunderland just fell off. And form-wise, they are one of the worst form-wise teams in the Championship right now. So, and Coventry, yeah, they've not been in the best of form recently, but certainly better form than Sunderland. They had to get that against Middlesbrough to obviously get that place in the playoff, get the 5th, because it wasn't assured before that. So I'm going to go for Coventry to win. So I think it's going to be Sheffield against Coventry in the playoff final at Wembley. Oh my goodness me. Coventry traditionally are a bogey side of ours. We do struggle against them. This season, though, not so much. I mean, we drew away from home despite being down to 10 men for the majority of that game. I think we were quite lucky, I think, to get that draw. Coventry definitely had more chances, but, Michael Cooper in goal, what a goalkeeper he is. So, he kind of kept us in that. But in the return leg, the more recent fixture between us, we absolutely blew them to pieces at Bramall Lane. And that was when Coventry were the form team in the division. So, oh God, I almost don't want to back us, but my head is telling me we should win that game. Again, it's going to be tight. It's not going to be easy. Coventry are a good team under, Frank Lampard. Fair play to the guy. He has taken what was a really struggling side in the Championship and made them a playoff side, get them into the 5th place, which is realistically the best they ever could have done at that point, because the top 4 were just miles clear. So I'm going to go for the Blades to get back up. I know it's a bit boring because, we're probably going to get relegated next season, but, I've got to back us. I can't not back us at the end of the day. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Sheffield United to get promoted from the Championship. But I don't say that with a lot of confidence, put it that way. Right, so League One. So this is for a place in the Championship. Now, this is massive for some of these clubs. I mean, Stockport, they were only promoted to League One last season, and then the playoffs. So fair play to them. Leyton Orient, they were in the National League not too long ago. And they're doing a fantastic job of them. And they had that great FA Cup game against Man City earlier this season as well. So, there's a real chance for them. Wycombe Wanderers, they've been in the Championship every now and again. They've been knocking on the door. So, it's good to see them. And Charlton, they've been in the doldrums for so long. And they've been the form team in the division, really. So, they had that slip-up against Wrexham, but Wrexham got promoted automatically. So, it's not really that much of a slip-up, to be honest. So, we've got Leyton Orient against Stockport, and we've also got Wycombe against Charlton. So, from these games, I'm going to go with Leyton Orient to get through against, I'm gonna say Charlton. I'm gonna give it to Charlton just because they've been in better form. Wycombe have been very solid. They're not going to be easy to beat. This is going to be, both of those games are going to be really tight. There is not a lot between any of those sides. So Charlton against Orient at Wembley. I want both of them to get promoted. They've both been through hell, those fans. I know a few Charlton fans, honestly, it's been so bad for them for so long. Leyton Orient to get into the Championship, it has been decades since they've been up that high. I can't think when the last time they were in the second tier. They came close about 10 or so years ago, I remember. Then they went down to the National League. So it'd be great to see them in the Championship, but I'm going to go for Charlton. A London derby at Wembley. I'm going to go with Charlton to go up. League Two. And this is a little different because 3 sides get promoted automatically from League Two. So these are the sides 4 through 7, but the format is exactly the same. The 4 teams that are involved are Notts County, AFC Wimbledon, Chesterfield and Walsall. Right, I'll start with the easy one. I've got to go for Chesterfield against Walsall. My goodness me, Walsall, how did they choke that? They were like 15 points clear at one, but I swear they were absolute eons clear of the chasing pack. Their form was downright terrible. They managed to win the final game against, I think it was against Crewe, wasn't it? And it looked as though they were going to go up, but Bradford City had other ideas with that absolutely terrible deflected shot that just eked across the line. They all count though, and Bradford, it's great to see them back in League One. They're a huge club at that level. They're a big club even at League One level. So, it's great to see them back. But yeah, Walsall, I think we've come in so close. You got to get to Chesterfield. They've got real momentum. They were in the National League last season. So see them up in League Two and knocking on the door of League One like this, I think it's fantastic for them. And then we've got Notts County against AFC Wimbledon. This is going to be tight, I don't think there's going to be much between it. I think Wimbledon are probably in the better form of the two, but I don't think there's much between them in the league table, really, either. I know they were both 5th and 6th. 1 point across the entire season. They're both not in the best of form. You know what? Let's give it to Wimbledon. I'd love to see Notts County get to Wembley and get up to League One again. They're a big club for that level, but Wimbledon, I'm just going to go with Wimbledon. So I'm going to go with Wimbledon against Chesterfield at Wembley. League Two playoff final. A place in League One on the line. It's huge. No, it's genuinely huge for them clubs, absolutely. Let's go Chesterfield. I'll go with Chesterfield. So I'm going to go with Chesterfield to get promoted from League Two. I'm going to go with Charlton to get promoted from League One. And Sheffield United to get promoted from the Championship. Feels wrong even saying that. You don't want to tempt fate, but that's my thinking. I've used some logic. Let's see if it's accurate. Probably not. But yeah, we've got the playoffs coming up in the next couple of weeks or so. Bristol City against Sheffield United, starting that on Thursday. They'll all be on Sky Sports. If you're in the UK, check them out on there, of course, if you've got availability for that. But yeah, who are your predictions? Who are you backing to get promoted through the playoffs? Which three teams are you going for with that? And stay tuned as well for my bold predictions reaction as well. I'll be doing those this week for not all top 5 divisions, because obviously Premier League is not finished yet, but the EFL, Championship, League 1, League 2, and also of course the National League 2. And I know I've got some predictions horrendously wrong, probably for all of them, so we'll see how we get on with those. Stay tuned for those here on the Football Chronicle, and have a fantastic day wherever you're on the world today, guys. And yeah, let me know your predictions in the comments below. Who's getting promoted, which 3 sides? Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world today, guys. See you very soon.